you? I hope you are doing great. It is Wednesday and time for our member spotlight, where we have the opportunity to drop in on a Craft Industry Alliance member and learn more about their business. And it's always a lot of fun, and I always learn something new as well. Today we're going to be speaking with Rachel, who owns a quilt shop with her twin called Quilted Twins. So that's pretty cool, and I'm excited to talk with her. She's based in Florida, so she'll be joining us shortly. And I also just wanted to give you one other very exciting update. So coming up next week, we're going to be opening up our mastermind group program. And if you don't know what that is, it's a group program that you sign up for where we pair you up based on some feedback you give us in a survey with other members who are at a similar stage of business that you're at and who want to work on something similar to what you want to work on. And it's like an accountability group, and it's super, super fun. And it's off 2026 with a bang and really grow your business. Look out for that announcement. It will be coming on Monday, and it's our mastermind groups. So, hey, how are you, Rachel?
I am fine. How's everything going there? And what are we discussing today?
Yeah, well, I'm excited to talk with you, and we are going to be doing our member spotlight where we get to kind of drop in on you and your business and learn more about you and what you do. So I know you own this business with your sister and your twin.
Yes. Yes.
So cool.
Yes.
How long have you been doing this?
We started just before, well, okay, according to the books, January 1st, 2017, but we were all working another job at the same time. So in 2018, by then was when we stopped. Well, I didn't close the other business till 2020. COVID killed that one. And then everybody went 100% into this business that we had. So it was one of those gradual things.
Yeah.
So 2019 is when we opened 3 days a week. We still are only open to the public 3 days, the same 3 days we are now. Do people know are we
Tell
allowed to
us
say the name of
about
the
it.
business?
Yeah, tell us what
Okay.
Quilted Twins is all about, because obviously you sell quilting fabric. We can see all the bolts behind you,
Yes.
but you have kind of a unique business model. So tell us what's unique about it.
Okay, okay, when we started this business, okay, we're in our 50s and we wanted to start something a little bit less, shall I say, frenetic than what we were doing before, and something so that if we wanted a little bit slower pace that we could do that. So I said, the one thing I don't want with retail or don't like with retail, because my other business was 100% online, was that I don't want to have to be in the building all the time. That's kind of a joke now because I'm here more than I was ever here with the other business, but I don't have to be because we're only open 3 days a week where people walk in,
Right.
which has been wonderful because we are not in a big city. Okay, that's the big thing. You guys, people who are in big cities, they have the luxury of people who will drive by and drop in. They
Right.
don't do that to us. Okay, we're in a small city and a small town, and this is a destination. When
Right.
they leave home, they know they're coming to our shop.
Right. They have to
So that
intentional.
works for us to be open those 3 days. Now, we've thought about advertising like out on the interstate, and I said to Ken, but if we do that, then we have to be open all the time. There you increase your labor costs and stress,
Yeah.
should we say
Yeah.
stress
Sure.
level. So it's worked for us really well. We are only open 3 days a week for the public, but the other 3 days we're here because we do online. So, because we started out exclusively as an online store,
Okay.
and people locally said, hey, could you let us come see your stuff? And we're like, no, we're not really set up for that. So that's why you see the bolts like this, because we
Right.
never changed, okay? So it's like a library. See how you can see that? You know, you're going to just look at the purple
Right.
326, purple 325. And the first lady that came into the store, I said, okay, I'll let you in, okay? But I'm just warning you, we didn't plan this. So when she came in, she said, oh, this would never work. This would never, ever, ever work. You people, I mean, my guild could never come see you because our ladies can't see the fabric. And I said, okay, well, you need to go play, okay? and and so I said, okay, well, you asked to come see me. I didn't ask to see you. So I said, okay. So so I was pretty discouraged, but it didn't matter because we were just online at that time.
Right.
Second lady came in and begged to come see it. I said, well, it wasn't well received by the first lady that I just let slide in. She had the opposite. She goes, Rachel, this is the best thing. This is awesome. You need to open to the public. And that was in either November or December of 2017. And so I decided to try it one day at the beginning of 2018. And so I said, okay, I'm going to try to see what happens. And I'm just going to let people come in and see. It's just going to be me. Let's just see what happens. And I had so much fun. It was so fun to see people's faces and to see their reactions and to talk to them. And we sold more in that one morning than I had done in the whole week before online. So he said, oh, let's try this. But that meant insurance. I mean, people
Yeah.
don't think about stuff like that. You have to have
Right.
insurance. Now you have to have cash registers. You have to have bags. You have to have staff to help everybody. You have to, you know what I mean? It all of a sudden blows up in your face. And it's like, but it was fun, but we're talking scaling fast and quickly. So when we started opening, we were only open one day a week, and we continued doing the online, of course. And then 2 days, we added the second day in the middle of the summer, and then Christmas time, we added this December. And we reserve all the other days for appointments and buses and guilds and the online. So it works for us. And you just heard my nephew in here. It's my twin sister's little boy. So our
Oh,
grandkids are here. Their moms work for me. So they homeschool. So it's really a family-based thing, and people love it. They've watched these kids grow up. But my problems, if you want to know the challenges that we face, are getting people here because we're not in a city. Okay.
right.
So I look at the people in Sarasota or Orlando or Tampa and say, y'all are so lucky. But then they're all closing. So I don't know whether you
Yeah,
know what I mean.
it
I
has
just
its pros and its cons.
yeah.
And your fabric is, correct me if I'm wrong, but my understanding is that it's mostly closeout fabrics. Is that correct?
Yes. Uh-huh. Yeah,
Okay,
we
so what is
buy
closeout? What does that mean? What is closeout fabric?
okay, when the manufacturers get ready to bring in new lines, they have to get rid of stuff at their warehouse. So
Okay.
that's why most of these fabrics, about 70% of our store is $6.99 instead of the $14.99 or $12.50 or the
So
$12.99.
6.99,
And the
that's
and the
really inexpensive for
it
a yard of premium quilting
it
cloth.
it is really a good price, and
Yeah.
that's why people will drive. And those two factors, we have to have a carrot. You can open the doors, but if you don't have a carrot, people aren't going to come. So our carrot is you come see us, we'll give you a great experience and great prices for the same quality that you might find. But the problem is, I mean, the advantage is it is stuff that when Susie Q makes something, it might take her a year to make it. Okay. Then Sally Jane sees Susie Q stuff and says, well, I want to make it just like that. Well, guess what? At your regular store, it's all sold out. They'll
Right.
call us because good chance we have it, but we don't have it for 5 or 6 years because once again, at that price point, we can, get rid of it quickly.
Right.
So we do
And
have to
I
work.
think one of the things about the quilting fabric companies that we've all come to understand, and it's actually fairly similar in the yarn world too, which is that these cycles are really fast. And
Yeah.
each cycle, there's tons of SKUs. And so stuff cycles in and out pretty quickly. And a lot of the shops and a lot of customers are looking for the new it fabric, the new
Yes.
trending designer, etc. And so they're going to go to their shop or their online shop
Yeah.
and just get that because that's what they see online and that's what they really want. But there's a whole other set of customers who are like, I just am looking for like this certain kind of purple,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
I don't
Yeah.
really know or care if it came out 1 week ago, 1 year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. I
You
just want
got
this
it.
beautiful lavender. And so
Yeah.
for that customer, a $6.99 a
Yeah.
yard lavender is the perfect thing.
Yeah, and those are the ones who come in and bring their friends and get their guild. And then we have to compromise that. We do have, and I can't take you back there on the back side where we do have the brand new stuff that comes in, and it's more expensive, but and believe it or not, we have more people that go back there, but they don't buy as much because it's more expensive. And
Right.
then they'll come out front, the front part of the store, which is about 70% of the store, and 30% is in the back, which is more expensive. And they love looking back there, but because it's more expensive, they don't buy as much. They'll buy a half yard, and then they'll say it's $6.99. They'll be, oh, I'll take 2 yards. So it's kind of fun that way to surprise them, especially if they don't read our signs or understand the price point, and
Yeah.
they just think it's going to be, super expensive.
And I
But
have to
but
say, like, I'm actually both kinds of shopper. So there's
yeah,
times when I want the latest and the greatest, and there's times when I just want, an inexpensive, good quality,
yeah,
print
right,
that strikes me as being pretty or something like
yeah.
that. So I think many people are sort of both kinds of shoppers. And so you kind of, you're not narrowing a customer to one sort of customer. It's actually, most people will take both at different times in different projects.
Oh yeah, it's definitely the truth. And they come because most of our customers do drive about an hour, and that's the crazy part, but they do because we have over 13,000 bolts of fabric, and because of that, they can be pretty sure, unless they're looking for quote unquote, we call it the purple sloth, the purple realistic sloth, then they will be able to find what they're looking for.
Right.
Whereas you guys have probably walked into other stores where they're very limited on like the number of vegetables or fruits or whatever, but I have a whole section called victuals and another section called food and then another section for animals. So we have probably every animal. And I make sure that especially in this area, we're rural Florida, okay?
Sure.
Which is kind of a rare, we're quickly becoming Tampa, which isn't rural, but rural Florida is more chickens and cows. And so I make sure that we always have those. But of course, because I'm having to make sure we always have those, they go in the full price. So you understand? So
Yeah.
I can start out with some of these things and closeouts and find out people love it. But then to keep it, I have to find, say Elizabeth Studios or Moda or somebody and buy it at full price just to keep it in the back room.
Right.
So if they want to come in and get their Angus cows, they can always get Angus cows here. That
And
kind of
do
thing.
you sell full bolts? Because there's a closeout, sort of a similar actually model to you here where I live in the Boston area, and I do drive an hour to go there.
Yeah.
And when I go there, which is rare, but I do actually really enjoy visiting that store. They will actually sell you a full bolt. So I just wondered whether you will sell full bolts or no.
Oh, we'll definitely sell, and we try to keep the plastic on them or up. We have up high. You can see up high. Those are full bolts.
Okay.
I'll sell full bolts, but I don't really give you a discount on that. Our
Sure.
price
So
is
you
already
will.
so low at $6.99, and then we have a whole section that's also $5.99. Those are off brands, but still they're really nice quality stuff. So especially if you're doing charity, you need blenders, then a lot of people buy those because
Or if you're a small business,
yeah,
like I was using them at that time to cut kits. I had a little pincushion kit and I just needed small pieces, but I needed a lot of the same fabric. So to me, I bought 3 bolts and it lasts me for, a
yeah.
long time. Great price. And, it's not quite wholesale, but it's close enough for a small
Yeah,
business to make it work.
anymore. Anymore
Yeah.
wholesale is now over $7 a yard. So yeah, we've had teachers really
Sure.
love coming here. Like one lady was teaching Paula Nadelstern stuff, and she was tickled to find it at $6.99. Bought every bolt I had in the overhead and said, well, I've been teaching, now I can just keep teaching the same
Right.
class. And she teaches like at AQS and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So she was able to continue. We were able to help her something that had been sold out. And I'm tickled that we can help people. I said, I don't care what you do with our fabric as long as you give me the price that I need. So if you want to resell it, we have one lady that sells on Etsy and she gets
Sure.
like $5 a fat quarter. I don't care.
Right.
And I say, you can do what you want. I don't guess like going to a yard sale or flea market. Once it's,
Once it's
you,
yours, it's yours. You do
yeah,
what you
yeah.
want to do with it. And do you ever get, and I'm curious about this, do you ever get pushback from, I mean, it sounds like you're quite far away from a regular, what I would call a regular shop. But I wonder whether you ever get pushback from quilt shop owners who say, oh, you're undercutting us on price or something like
I think that the worst place for that is going to be at the shows. At the shows, we do set up at shows, but I try to have different things. In other words, I'll do our kits. My sister's a designer, so we'll bring our kits. She designed the kit. I'm not going to bring a
that. Right.
Northcott kit or a Riley Blake kit because then I can't really can't do anything special about the price point. You understand?
Right.
So, and we're kind of known for the price point. So, and once again, like you said, there are people that walk in and they don't care what they pay for a Lori Holt kit. They just want it. So we do have some, but I sell way more. For example, I'm going to show you this one in the background. This is
Okay.
last year's or 2 years ago shop hop kit. Can you see that one in the
Yeah.
background? It was really stunning, and we sold a lot of those, and we continue to sell the light and bright quilt kit. And it's a little bit pricey. It's $97, but it isn't 250. So we're able to, but Becky designed that, so I can just keep cutting.
Okay, so that's
you
the way
know,
to differentiate and it shows that way you're not competing directly with like a more conventionally priced and conventional business model quilt shop. That makes a lot
but
of sense.
yeah, and the other thing is we don't and won't sell machines. So because large portion of these people's, okay, I'm 63 now. Becky and I wanted to start this as a low stress
Right.
business. So I said, no machines. Okay. There is nothing more stressful than having a sewing machine that doesn't work and having an upset customer that can't get satisfaction. The worst thing that's going to happen with the fabric is that the fabric has a flaw in it. They bring it back to you and it's like, I'm sorry, let's get another piece.
Right.
And that's about the extent of our stress level when it comes
Yeah.
to, issues. So a lot of the other all the other stores around us sell machines.
Some
So
machines. That's good too.
because,
You're letting them take that whole market. Right.
yep. Mhm.
Right.
And
Okay.
that's a big, big, big markup and a big mark. That's where they tell me they make their money and
Yeah.
I let them make their money there and they
Well,
let
if
me
you think
make money.
about a square foot of a store and how much you're making per square foot, if you're selling somebody, a $8,000 sewing machine or more
Yeah.
versus selling, a yard of fabric, you can think about
Yeah.
the margin that you're getting there. So yeah, so that makes a lot of sense that you're sort of differentiating yourself on that
Yeah.
front as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we decided there were several things we weren't going to sell. We won't sell wool. We won't sell sewing machines. And it has nothing to do, I don't philosophically care. I just wanted to leave room. And I tell anybody if they want to open up another store in this town, just come to me and say, what is it you don't want to carry?
Right.
We could corner the market but nobody does that. They come in and try to compete, but they're not going to. They will. I feel bad that they end up closing, but if they would not try a head to head, but a side by side, they
That's
could
right.
open,
Yeah.
but there's so many things that we don't carry. We don't do any long arming here. We don't do, we don't sell machines. We don't sell machine parts. We don't sell just a ton of things we don't sell
Yeah.
in this whole scope. So
And
there's a
then how
lot.
do you market, because e-commerce remains a really strong aspect of your business. Obviously, you're
Yes,
open those
yes.
3 days a week, you do the shows, but e-commerce is a big part of this. So how are you marketing Quilted Twins online? Like how are people finding you and finding out about what you have?
That's a great question. We started with 99 names from our first show in Ocala. We went to a show and people said,
Okay.
oh, you've got to come, you'll sell out. Well, the most important thing, we just broke even on sales because it cost us so much to set up at that show because it was our first show and we didn't have anything for equipment and stuff like that. So we had to buy all that stuff. But we came home with 99 names and we can still tell the difference because the majority of our customer base comes from Ocala, which is north of us, Leesburg, the north of us. And so our last 3 shows we've done have been south of us. I said we've got to reach the Tampa, the Clearwater, the area that's south of us because we continue to constantly have people. But once they come, they will then tell their friends. But I have a very active email list. We also
Okay.
have a Facebook group. And that's actually my sister, my twin, the designer, had her own Facebook group before we actually opened our store.
Okay.
So that Facebook group, it's not huge. We only have maybe 12 or 13,000. And then our own page, we try to get more pages. But I do have a guy, that's my son. He does our marketing. And so we do videos. We are on YouTube. What we don't do yet, and once again, I told you there's plenty of space in this business around here because we are only 2 people. Now I have a team, but you just can't do it all. So
Right.
we don't do any classroom instruction that we charge. We do have classes here, but it's not
Have
it's
you
not
ever
Zoom or
tried
anything.
like live selling where you like show the fabric and people can comment and buy? You haven't done that.
No, but we do a Facebook show and a YouTube show every Monday and Friday showing our new stuff to send them
Okay,
to our
so
website.
Facebook show, YouTube show, what is that? How do you do that? You just kind of unpack
Yeah.
what's new?
Okay, I'll show you exactly what we do. We say,
That's a
hey,
cool
this is
idea.
Rachel, this is Ken, and look at what we just put up. This really cool gray and white, and the number it's only $6.99 by Quilting Treasures. It is gray number 447, and that's backwards for you, but it's not backwards for the customers on our camera. And it's only $6.99, and you type in gray 447 on the website, and you'll get it. That way, we can
I
do
see.
this because we're not paying those other people all their fees. You understand?
Yeah, right.
We're
So they're watching your show. They can open another window on or another tab or write it down, whatever they're
write
doing.
it down. They write them down. Come
Yeah,
in.
that they do. And then they can jot down, oh, I love that one on the
Yeah.
447. And then they type that code right into your search bar and the
Yes.
exact one comes up. And so you're basically saving on like the sort of transaction middleman fee for
Yeah.
the comments sold or whatever tool you might have used and kind of doing it more direct. But doing those shows Mondays and Fridays, are those effective for you?
Well, okay, that's a very good question. We every now and then, about every week, I think, oh, I want to quit doing this because we only
What?
have maybe 3 to 10 people watching, maybe 14.
Okay.
But then on Saturday, the doors will open. People will come in. Oh, I watched you in rerun, and I need
Ah,
this. And no, it's not thousands. Okay, we're not getting rich off of this, and we're not. But it is more exposure, and we are getting new people all the time from that. Not hundreds and not thousands. Like I said, all of us wish there was an easy,
there's
easy
no
road.
easy anything, but yeah. But okay, so that's interesting. And so people like, they're like, oh, planning my trip. I got to drive an hour, gonna go
Yeah.
on Saturday. Let me check in, see what is new. They can watch
Yes.
it on replay
Yep.
and then come in and already know what it is that
Yep.
they're hoping for. So that is helpful. And of course, they'll find some other things while they're there, if not just some solids and basics and other stuff.
Yeah.
So, and do you
Yeah.
sell batting and notions as well?
Yes,
Okay.
some. We sell only one kind of batting, just in 2 different sizes, just to make things easy.
Yeah.
And we sell a few notions, and we only sell we sell Wonder Fill thread, only cotton and in polyester.
Okay.
I've been to one store that sold probably a dozen kinds of thread, and for a beginner, a new person, they freeze.
Interesting.
They don't know what to do. So I
Yeah.
said, listen, you only have 2 choices here. You can either buy polyester or cotton. Now I'll tell you the
Right.
pros
They're
of both,
different. Yeah.
but at least you're not having to decide between Aurifil and Wonderfill and Glide and 12 other brands when you don't know anything.
Right.
So it's really helped to simplify some things. You know what I mean? So I try to keep simple the things that, like, for example, needles, okay? You need a universal needle that's
Yep.
the right size, okay?
Mhm.
So whether it's Schmetz or Oregon, or, if you have the one that you love,
You're
then
gonna
you're going to
choose
have
it.
to buy it. But I will keep a universal needle, sometimes Schmetz, sometimes Oregon, sometimes whatever, a different brand, but a well-known brand, and I will direct you to get the right size you need. But you won't know, most people don't care.
Yeah,
You
it's
understand?
interesting to find that out about customers, like what they really care about, and there are customers who really care, but they'll go to their other places to get it. So
Right.
you sound like you've really kind of figured out your customer, and it also sounds like for folks who do want to kind of get looped into what's going on at Quilted Twins, maybe the newsletter list is a good place to start.
Oh
Is that
yeah.
right? Okay,
Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
can go on your website and get on there. Okay,
Yeah, right on this. As soon as you'll get that pop up, as soon as you go
right.
on to quiltedtwins.com, it'll give you the option. You can exit out if you don't want to join. Nobody has to, and you can always opt out of the email list any day,
Right, right. Give
anytime.
it a try because this might be a really good way to get some bargains, get some quilting fabric
Yes.
that you might have bought anyway at full price. So very cool. Honestly, this has been really interesting to learn about, Rachel. Thank you for like the tour and the information. And folks should go and also follow you on Instagram just so they can also
Yes.
keep up traffic.
Yes. Yes. Okay,
Yeah.
well, I don't know if we've answered all your questions, but you guys haven't begun to see the store, but I've got kids everywhere, and I don't want to interrupt.
We understand. I think a lot of us are in exactly that same position. So thank you so much, Rachel. I hope you have a
Sure.
wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you. Appreciate
Thanks
it.
for
And
everybody who joined us.
okay.
All
Okay,
right,
bye-bye.
bye. Take care.
Bye. Okay.